Hi everyone, and welcome to your mats today. My name is Jillian and I will be your yoga instructor for this everyday yoga sequence. So hop into some comfortable clothing, grab a bottle of water, your mat, and let's get ready to move. Alright, so today we're going to begin on our mats in a nice, easy, seated, comfortable position. So we'll take the legs cross-legged. Naturally we're going to want to sit one way. Today we'll take those legs and just flip-flop them. So this might feel a little weird, a little quirky at first, but we're just creating some balance over time in our legs, our knees, our hips. So we're going to come into some alignment really quickly. First I'm going to take all the flesh out from underneath my sit bones, so I really ground my hips down onto the mat. From here I can stack my pelvis under my chest and my chest under my head. So nice and tall. Nice and lengthened through the spine. I can roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And the palms can come onto the knees, the tops of the thighs, whatever's comfortable for you. Maybe facing down if we feel like we need some more grounding in our practice. Otherwise, we'll have them face up, open to receive new energy. So whatever's good for you today, we'll just start to connect with our breath, float the eyes closed if they're not already, and just breathe in through the nostrils, really deep. Exhale out through the mouth. This time breathe in through the nostrils, send the breath all the way down to the belly, expanding through the belly. Exhale out through the mouth. Continuing the cycle of breath at your own pace. We'll take about 3 to 5. Inhaling nice and strong. And exhaling, gushing it out through the mouth. Release any tension in your thighs, your arms. Relax into your posture as we continue with our breath cycle. Expanding through the lungs on those inhales. And exhale, gushing all the bad energy out. One more deep breath just like that. Beautiful. From here we can inhale, reach those arms up towards the sky, lengthen through the side bodies. And exhale, we can bring the palms into a prayer at our heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, reach the arms up one more time. Lengthen, shoulders remain away from the ears, releasing any tension. And exhale, hands in prayer at heart center. Beautiful. From here we're going to start to move through our body. So I'm going to take the right palm towards my side and just walk the fingertips out and plant that palm on the mat. I'm going to reach the left arm all the way up towards the sky, either straight up, or I'll continue to reach even further towards the right side. So what's really important here is that you keep both hip creases grounded, rooted strong onto the mat, especially that left hip crease, so we keep the low back nice and safe. We lengthen through the left side body, and maybe rotate the chest towards the sky, just to find a tad bit more space. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften through the face. Inhale back to center, neutral spine. Maybe we roll the shoulders up, back, and down the back body once or twice. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side, taking those left fingertips, walking them out towards the side, rooting that palm down on towards the mat. Rooting both hip creases nice and strong. Just going to reach that right arm all the way up towards the sky, straight up. Or maybe I'll even take it further over towards my left. So whatever fits you in your practice today, maybe we move with our breath, swaying back and forth. Or maybe we commit to stillness, opening the chest towards the sky, keeping that right hip crease rooted nice and strong. Shoulders roll away from the ears, release tension. Inhale. Exhale, soften. On your next breath in, we'll come back to center, neutral spine. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Beautiful. Here we're just going to tuck the chin towards the chest and just find a stretch in the back of the neck. Breathing in, just taking a moment to find space in the back body. Inhale, lifting the crown of the head. And eventually we'll all meet on all fours. So coming into a tabletop position, taking your time to get there. We're going to stack our shoulders right over our wrists and our hips right over our knees. So a nice neutral spine here. We're going to keep the spine nice and straight instead of rounding. And I'm just going to lengthen the crown of my head forward and my tailbone backwards. So I'm lengthening through the side bodies here as well. And from here we're just going to move through some cat and cows. So if you know what that looks like, go right ahead. Otherwise, I will walk you through it. So on our cow pose, we're going to inhale, drop the belly, drop the chest. Gaze comes up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, we tuck that tailbone, round the spine, push the mat away, and tuck that chin. Inhale, drop the belly, coming into that cow pose, dropping the chest, gazes up. And exhale, round the spine, push the mat away as we tuck the tailbone, tucking the chin. Moving at your own pace with your own breath, take about 3 to 5 rounds. Always moving with any variation. Maybe that be sending the hips back on the exhale and inhale, peeling the chest forward and back up. Or maybe we just keep it with some simpler movements. Wherever you are, just making sure you're moving with your breath as we start to ignite our body from the inside out and give our internal organs a nice massage. And exhale, we'll all come to a neutral spine. So nice flat back here. I'm going to tuck those toes, send the hips back to the heels, and then maybe if you feel like your feet might need it, we can reach back and spread all those toes nice and wide. Maybe even try and get the pinky toe to touch on towards the mat. And then we can walk the palms back forward and eventually release the forehead towards the mat as the chest melts towards the thighs, towards the earth. We can rock side to side here and open through the shoulders, release tension in the face, the jaw. Create space in the low back body. Take a breath in. Exhale it out. Activate through the palms here. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. We're going to grip through the finger pads. And then eventually we're going to peel those knees off of the mat by sending the hips towards the sky to meet in our downward facing dog. So first down dog of the practice, hips are in the sky, heels are sending the energy backwards towards the mat. And we're opening through the shoulders, opening through the side bodies. So first down dog of the practice, any variations of movement or stillness are welcome. Maybe we want to pedal through the knees, pedal through the feet, walk your dog. Or maybe wag your tail by sending the hips side to side, lengthening through the side bodies. Connecting with the breath. Activated palms. We can keep the gaze between the ankles, the knees, or the thighs, whatever's comfortable for you. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale it out. Soften through the body. Then inhale, gaze through the palms, in between the wrists, and slowly we're just going to walk it up all the way towards the front of our mat. Nice and slow. We'll all meet in a forward fold. We can take our feet about hips width, so that'd be about 2 fists in between. And we can keep a little bend through the knees, making sure not to lock anything. Opening through the back body, releasing the spine, decompressing. Maybe nodding your head yes and no to release tension. And whenever you're ready, we'll keep a nice bend in those knees, plant through the feet, and then we're just going to come all the way up to stand, nice and slow as we roll it up, stacking one vertebrae at a time. So if you feel the need to go quick, maybe use that as an opportunity to slow it down and just see how it feels. And eventually the shoulders are the last to come up. The head. We can roll those shoulders up, back, and down the back body to open through that chest. Take a nice deep inhale in. Exhale out through the mouth. Beautiful. Just take a moment here to see how you feel up until this very moment. Maybe fold the eyes closed. Just notice your breath. Notice your heart rate. Notice how your body feels. And whenever you're ready, we'll just come into some alignment at the top of our mat into our mountain pose. So I'm going to take those big toes and I'm just going to touch slightly and just create a little space between the heels. Those feet are going to be rooted nice and strong into all 4 corners of the feet. And I'm going to engage the core here as I tuck that tailbone, just like that, so it's a pelvic tilt. We have an upward current of energy in the front of our body as we open through the chest and roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Beautiful. We can lengthen through the crown of the head, float those eyes closed. Maybe tuck the chin slightly. Release any tension in the jaw. Arms are at our sides, palms face forward. Whenever you're ready, we can inhale, lengthen towards the sky. And exhale, take those arms and float them all the way down into a forward fold at the top of our mat. We're going to inhale, lift the spine halfway. So we can come up on the fingertips, or those fingertips can come to the shins or the tops of the thighs. Whatever's comfortable for you to have a nice flat back. The weight is in the toes, the gaze is forward, opening through the back of the legs. And exhale, we're going to send that forehead back towards the shins as we come back into our forward fold, hinging at those hips. Nice flat spine. And from here we can plant those palms to frame the foot. And I'm just going to step the right foot towards the back of our mat. So if it takes a couple steps to get there, please do what you gotta do. And we're just all gonna meet in this sort of low runner's lunge. I'm gonna lower on the back knee, lower on the back top of the foot. That front knee is gonna stack over the front ankle. And then from here, it can come up on the fingertips and open through the chest. Maybe the gaze comes up. Automatically, I'm feeling a nice deep stretch in the front of that right hip crease. That's the right hip flexor. Maybe if I want to take it further, I can take the arms and swing them forward and up towards the sky. I'm going to want to roll the shoulders away from the ears to release any and all tension. So maybe if you have trouble with that, we can just do that by taking the pinkies and rotating them towards the back of our mat. So the shoulders are away from the ears. I'm going to engage the core slightly by tucking the tailbone down. Beautiful. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And maybe we take it just a little further by sending those arms back and opening through the heart. Wherever you are, connecting with your breath, engaging the core, releasing any and all tension, and finding the ease in the discomfort. Whenever you're ready, we'll take those arms all the way back up if we went further, and eventually taking the palms to frame the foot. Beautiful. We can come up on the back toes, come up off the back knee. Maybe we rock back and forth, finding some motion. And whenever you're ready, I'm just going to step that left foot back to meet the right into a plank pose. Beautiful. Nice and strong plank pose, nice straight body. We're going to engage the core, shift the weight forward onto the wrists, onto the toes. And from here we can just lower onto the knees. And then from here, lower the chest and the chin so the hips stay in the sky. Keep those elbows in. And then inhale, slide the chest forward and up. Come down on those hips. Plant the top of the feet. Come into your cobra pose. Peel the chest up. Inhale. Exhale, release. Coming onto one cheek, relax for a moment. And whenever you're ready, we can bend in those knees and push up the torso and send the hips back towards the heels. So we're coming into an extended child's pose. The hips are back at the heels, arms are out in front, and we lengthen through the low back, release the forehead towards the mat. Whenever you're ready, we can tuck those toes, activate through the palms, and we're just all going to meet in our downward facing dog. Hips up in the sky. Listening to our body at any point throughout the practice. If you need a child's pose, please take one. Just listening to the signs our body gives us. So, connecting with our breath wherever you are. If we're in our downward facing dog, we can nod the head yes and no. And whenever you're ready, we can gaze between the palms. And then eventually we can just step it up into our forward fold. If it takes a couple of steps to get there, please do so. And we'll all meet at the front of our mat in a forward fold, lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the back of the legs, releasing the forehead. We bow to the practice. From here we can inhale, lengthen the arms up towards the sky, come all the way up to stand, and exhale, gush it out. Arms can come down towards the sides. Beautiful. Taking a moment here, maybe finding your alignment in your mountain pose, finding what feels good for you, engaging the core, finding that upward current of energy through the front of the body and downward current of energy through the back of the body. Take one more deep breath in, lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold the fingertips forward, forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, lift the spine halfway, find your variation, flat back, gaze is forward, weight is in the toes. And exhale, plant the palms and step that left foot towards the back of the mat. And we'll just lower on that back knee, top of the back foot, coming into that low runner's lunge once again. So we can just relax here if this is good for us, staying up on the fingertips and opening through the chest. Just making sure our front knee is stacked over the front ankle. Or if we want to take it even further, we can inhale, swing those arms forward and up towards the sky. Automatically I might feel a little wobbly. If I do, I can always strengthen those inner thighs in towards each other, in towards the midline of the mat. And then from there I can lengthen my torso upward. That'll help me keep stable and nice and balanced throughout the pose. Shoulders roll away from the ears by taking those pinkies back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale, maybe we take it even further. Open the heart, send the arms back. Nice and strong foundation. Feeling that body shake, that prana, that energy surrounding your body, letting you know you're alive. And exhale, whenever you're ready, we'll take the arms back up, and eventually palms will come to frame the foot, coming up on the back knees, coming up on the back toes. And then we'll just find some movement, rocking back and forth. And then in one graceful breath, we're just going to step that left foot up to meet the right at the top of our mat. And then in one graceful breath, just going to step that left foot up to meet the right at the top of our mat. Beautiful. Forward fold here. Inhale, lengthen the arms towards the sky. And exhale, arms towards the sides. Beautiful. From here we can step the left foot towards the back of the mat and open towards the side of our mat. I'm going to want to take the back foot parallel to the short edge of our yoga mat, and the front foot, the right toes, will be facing forward. We're going to come into our triangle pose, our Trikonasana. So I'm going to want to open through this hip joint, through the right hip joint. I'm not going to want to lock in the knee, just keep it nice and bouncy. And try and get that knee to point outward towards the pinky toe. That'd be opening through the hip joint. So from here I'm going to keep the outside edge of that back foot nice and rooted. And I can take the arms parallel with the earth in towards a T. And I'm going to reach that right arm as far forward as I send the hips back. And eventually I can take that right palm towards the inner shin, the inner foot, the inner thigh, as the left arm comes up. So my shoulders are stacked, and I'm opening through this right hip joint. So automatically it might be hard to keep your palm faced on your shin or something like that. So we can have a stack of books, stack of textbooks, a block, anything you have handy, and just kind of elevate that surface for you. So we can have it this way, we can stack it the long way, whatever's good for you. We're just focusing on opening that hip joint in the right leg and lengthening through the left side body. Gaze can stay up or towards the horizon. Connect with the breath. Inhale, coming back up to stand, using your abs. And exhale, we can release those arms towards the sides. Beautiful. I can remove the block. And then I'm just going to pivot on my feet. So that right foot is going to come parallel to the short edge. And then that left foot is just going to point the toes towards the back of our mat. So we're going to prepare for Trikonasana, triangle pose on the opposite side. So we're going to begin by keeping a little bend in that left knee and taking the arms parallel with the earth to a T. So nice and strong through the outer edge of that right foot. I can reach far forward with my left palm and eventually send the left arm towards the shin, the foot, the thigh, whatever feels good for you. And that right arm will be stacked. The shoulders are stacked, the right arm is in the sky. So we can always work with our block and kind of elongate the ground. Or we can just play with our abdominals and work with strengthening that, keeping our upper half in the sky. So we can just play here, opening through the right side of the body, opening through the left hip. Connect with your breath. Inhale, coming back up to stand. We can release the arms, maybe find a bounce in that left leg. Beautiful. I'm going to remove the block, pivot on that left foot, so both parallel, and then eventually I can just step it up to the front of our mat in a mountain pose. So from here, we're just going to take it into our Utkatasana chair pose by taking the arms parallel, and we can just make sure our feet are hips width. So it'd be about 2 fists once again. Engage the core, bend those knees, and send the hips back. Lengthen through the side bodies. And just gaze down really quick, make sure you can see your toes. We want to keep our hips nice and square, so that being our knees are also square, also equidistant from the front of our mat. We're going to send those hips even further, engage the glutes, release any tension in the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale. Send the hips all the way down and back. We can have the arm to come support because we're going to come into a nice, easy seated position with our legs out long. Beautiful. We can come into our staff pose, our Dandasana pose. So, legs out long, we can keep the feet flexed. And I'm just going to take my palms towards my sides and just push into the mat and lengthen through my spine. Beautiful. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then from here we can exhale, take the arms towards the feet, send the forehead towards the shins. So we're going to forward fold, hinge at those hips. We can bend at the knee to make it a little easier to find our alignment and to try and keep that low belly touching the top of the thigh. So automatically I'm feeling the stretch in the back of my legs. However, I'm keeping my legs nice and safe because my knees are bent, making sure not to lock anything, not to pop anything. And also I'm feeling a lot of space in my low back. So I'm sending the breath towards my low back. As I inhale, lengthen. And exhale, sink deeper into the fold. Beautiful. We can inhale, reach the arms back up towards the sky, coming out the same way we came in. And exhale, release those arms towards the sides. Beautiful. From here we can scooch those hips forward because we're going to come onto our backs with our knees towards our chest. So we can take the knees to our chest by hugging our arms wrapped around the shins. Just take a moment here to stretch through the hip flexors. Maybe we rock side to side, finding some movement, massaging through the kidneys. Take a moment here to thank yourself for showing up onto your mat today, to continue your yoga practice and continue the journey for your body, your mind, and your spiritual connection. Take a moment to thank your body for everything it has done for you up until this very moment. And just breathe into that self-love, into that gratitude. Whenever you're ready, we can take the soles of the feet back towards the mat. The knees are still bent. Keep those feet together, and then eventually we can let the knees fall out wide. So our legs will be making a diamond shape. For our supine bound angle pose, we let gravity do the work as our knees fall out wide, our thighs become heavy. The arms can come towards the sides, or one palm can be on the low belly, one palm stays on the chest. Whatever is most comfortable for you. Start to quiet the mind, declutter the brain, connect with our breath, and slow the heart rate. Breathing in through the nostrils, connecting with a normal cycle of breath once again. Feeling the body become heavy, melting onto the mat. When you're ready, we'll prepare for Shavasana Pose by taking the legs out long, extending them out towards the sides. The toes can fall out wide. And if your arms are not there already, we'll take them towards the sides, palms facing up, signaling to our central nervous system that we are safe. Release any tension throughout your body, in between the eyebrows or the cheekbones. Release any and all tension in your jaw, and release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Start to commit to stillness and silence in your Shavasana. Feel free to pause the video and continue on with your Shavasana. Here is where I'll leave you. Take your time waking back up into your body. I hope you all feel as refreshed and as energized as I do, and I hope you all enjoyed this yoga sequence. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.